You're still that person. I didn't do anything. So you have a lot of people saying,
Anaya. Anaya. Hey. Oh, you gonna take it?
I get it.
You can see she's hunched her shoulders and drawn her arms across her body as pretty defensive. So
I thought she killed Tracy.
Yeah, that's what she's doing with the insulin or whatever the fuck it's called. Is that what it's called? That's crazy.
I'm a big fan. As soon as we start doing a collab, what do you think about this?
Oh, Duncan!
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
Duncan.
Like, feel that? They got a poster. Big time for it.
Ice
This was a no bear. It was like a bear squatch.
Dad, what's a bear squatch?
It's a cross between a bear and a sass. It's made up. He's usually sleeping.
He'll never sleep again.
Are you cool? I'm freaking crazy. And my hips and legs hurt.
Right after the interview, there was a major payoff because within a few hours of that end of the second interview, she actually buys a book called I'm Dead Now What? Indicating that she's having potentially some suicidal thoughts. Why? Because she's just been told she is the prime suspect in all of these cases. It almost gave us more fuel to figure this out. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Between the second interview in August of 2018 and October of 2019, the bulk of the investigative work was complete during that time period. The investigation involved a review of hundreds of thousands of VA employee emails, years worth of internet browsing activity, review of hundreds of hours of recorded phone calls, and a review of other electronic media and electronic evidence as well. What we learned at that point in the investigation was that Rita would talk with other staff members on Facebook Messenger, and they would, in real time, be discussing patients and what was going on the ward. And Rita was referring to some of our victims. What happened to this patient who was in this room, and what about this patient? So she was following up to see, essentially, did they live or did they die?
They died.
Do you want to see a movie like that?
That was a doctor, though.
Oh, well,
Interviews were, of course, despite not obtaining a confession, there was no eyewitness, no surveillance camera footage, no murder weapon, no DNA, no fingerprint. Therefore, the culmination of the interviews strengthened the investigation. Although we did not get the verbal answers and the confessions that we were looking for, just to be able to tap into the mindset of Rita was just as important.
Damn, I fell out in the crowd. Get up.
What happened? It sounds like a, I don't know.
Oh, it's funky shit.
I need her, man. Come here. Yeah. Walk with me. Oh my God! No!
Is that a dude or a girl?
Oh my gosh, please! Ryan Lamb was uncontrollably emotional, screaming, yelling, crying, just wailing. They determined that for safety's sake, he needed to be handcuffed and removed from the scene. Please, please, I just came home.
Why are you crying?
As the police entered the unit, they could see blood on the doorstep and on the landing. They said that the apartment was in disarray. It appeared as if there had been some sort of altercation. There was blood on the bed, blood on the floor. You could see footmarks and fingerprints on the linoleum. Once they got into the bathroom, they found Ryan Nixon in the bathtub in a semi-seated position with the water running. I think he was only clothed in his underwear. Mr. Lamb had reported that Mr. Nixon had poke holes in him. We later learned that those were the result of being stabbed with a pair of scissors that we found in the residence. Ultimately, it was determined that Ryan Nixon was deceased.
Adam, you're okay.
Emergency dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay. Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair
Okay, well, she hit you in her back.
delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48 hours hydration for healthy looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
You're okay. If she hit you, hit her back.
Oh, hit her back. From an informational standpoint and asked him, what can you tell us about the situation?
Go play the game. Okay, your daddy's come to pick you up.
I know
Okay, stop crying.
the officers, what took place, but I'm sorry I wasn't there for that. Can you tell me from start to finish?
I just recall it coming in and there was blood all over the seat, cracked his nose or something, and I'd go in and he was laying right on the kitchen. There's a wall that's separates the kitchen from the living room. He was laying up against that. He had scissors in his belly and he was bleeding really heavily back of his head.
How did his head get cut?
I don't know, there was blood on the back of his head when he leaned up on the wall. And he just called for help. And he said it was fine. He was fine.
Ryan said it was fine.
He said he was totally conscious and talking to me. And said it was fine.
Mr. Lamb said that they didn't have a functioning cell phone, so his first thought was to run to a local gas station, which is quite a distance away, probably half a mile or 3/4 of a mile from where the apartment was, to utilize the phone. I guess common sense tells me that if you have somebody that has a pair of scissors sticking out of their stomach and has an injury to the back of the head, why didn't you go to a neighbor's immediately and ask to use the phone to call 911?
You're not gonna wait until motherfucking water starts.
At least one of the patrol officers that had interaction with Lamb and myself recognized that there were some marks on his chest and abdomen. The marks to me looked like a 4-pronged fork. I believe one of the patrol officers asked him about that, and initially he said it's not relevant. He said it's a rash.
And what pictures so I can see that?
There were a couple of them that had fresh blood as a result of the poke marks, which told me that they were fairly recent. So it was not normal, in my opinion, and I wanted to know why.
What's that from? It looks like a fork. Yeah. What's it from? Well, this one. Okay. So that's like, put belts around each other's necks. From all the bodies, like completely different. That's what we're into.
One of the neighbors upstairs to Nixon's apartment told me that she heard two people arguing. One of the voices said, "You stabbed me in the chest." The other voice said, "Well, you stabbed me with a fork." Obviously, that was significant to me because Lamb had fork marks on his chest and abdomen, and Nixon had been stabbed in the chest with a pair of scissors. Learning that information, as well as other things that I gleaned from the interview, I was fairly confident that Lamb had played a role in Mr. Nixon's death.
He said they would get rough. They had freaking. He said they would they would tranquilize it until the motherfuckers completely out, like they'll choke each other out and shit.
Here's where we're at with this. I just talked with the county attorney's office, and based on the information I have, we're going to be charging you with deliberate homicide.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa. 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 No. Oh my gosh.
I think that Mr. Lamb's reaction, he was legitimately shocked. I think that he thought he could throw up some smoke and mirrors and he'd be walking out of the back door of the police department that day, and that didn't happen.
Heat sensitivity is so common. It immediately feels like, somebody's poking directly on their nerve. I recommend Sensodyne. Sensodyne toothpaste goes inside the tooth and calms the nerve down. And my patients say, doc, it really works.
So I'm asking you, I'm begging you here, please explain to me what happened so I have a clear picture, of what took place. Otherwise I gotta go based on the facts that I have. Understood? Yeah. I poked you hard. His head, but I poked him in the back of the head and not through it. So how did the blood get out by the front door? How did that happen?
He got up, like looking for me.
Okay, well,
I didn't leave him in the shower. I didn't leave him anywhere near the bathroom. It was right there where the clothes. It was just so much blood, and then it started getting really on the back of his head. But I thought he was banging his head, or maybe he poked him in the neck or something.
when he confessed to killing Mr. Nixon, it was somewhat of a relief for him.
This is like an accident. It's gone like so bad. Okay. Oh my God.
Mr. Lamb used the scissors on Nixon, and he said he didn't intend to harm him as bad as he did, or certainly not kill him. Based on the information I had learned through the investigation, had Brian Lamb called for help sooner, there was a possibility that Brian Nixon could have been saved. The autopsy revealed that there was a fractured rib, the sternum was fractured also, and then internal organs were damaged, causing Mr. Nixon to bleed to death. The prosecutor felt that that warranted deliberate homicide because the level of force that was used. Lamb and his defense attorneys claimed at trial is that it was a domestic violence situation where Nixon attacked Lamb with the fork, and Lamb was defending himself with a pair of scissors. Lamb took an Alford plea, and what that means is Lamb wasn't owning up to any culpability in this situation, but felt that if the case were tried again, that he would likely be found guilty. It's never as clear-cut or obvious as people think with a confession, but I'm happy with the job that we did. I feel satisfied with our investigation in this case, and I don't want to sound arrogant or boastful, but I would challenge any other investigator to do more.
Yes, I need paramedics and police. I'm at 30 eastbound. I need somebody here real quick.
What's going on there?
Someone just shot a driver. I put this supposed to serve. There's supposed to be over here. I don't know if he's still breathing, but there's a gunshot through the front windshield. Oh, man.
We learned that one of our motor vehicle service drivers was shot and killed while he was in the course of his duties on I-30. We were able to identify the victim as Mr. Tony Mosby. He had been with the post office about 14 years, 58 years of age at the time.
There was multiple gunshots.
He is nice. Key gun.
Out to the front of Tony Mosby's postal truck. One of the rounds had gone through the windshield and struck him in the face.
Damn.
And that was the round that took his life.
Her relative worked for the Postal Service, and I think once they had learned Mr. Mosby had died, it was weighing on her.
Today is February 21st, 2018. Time is 11:48. Jessica, my name is Terry Cheney. I'm with the Dallas Police Department.
And I'm Paul Baker with the U.S. Postal Inspection Service.
If interviewing and interrogating anyone, you have to make them comfortable. She was very nervous, very scared, because she knew this murder has been on the news. She knows information about it.
We really appreciate you stepping up and doing the right thing and being here, okay?
Okay.
You're not under custody.
Right.
You're not in custody and you're free to leave at any point. So all this is voluntary information that you're providing, yes? No one's threatening you or anything to that effect, okay?
We had dinner there. After we were done, his cousin Donnie actually called us to see if we wanted to go bowling or anything. We had them meet us outside the restaurant.
Okay, and you said Dave, who was
Donnie is his cousin, and Chanel is the girlfriend.
Do you know him by Donnie? Do you know by his last name?
It's Farrell.
Donnie Farrell. But tell me what happened.
We decided that we were going to go to a bar and shoot some pool.
A lot of times people, they're a little bit hesitant to come forward when it comes down to these investigations. They always have a saying, snitches get stitches. So we want to make sure that they can talk to us and come forward about everything.
We then left and went to DJ Bullard. We were there roughly until about 1:30. After that, we tried to go back to the hotel. Chanel was driving.
Okay.
Donnie was in the passenger seat. There was a U.S. Postal truck in front of us. She was driving very close to this truck. She then swerved over to go around him. We passed up this U.S. Postal truck. According to Donnie, the driver of that truck flipped us off. But I looked to the right, and the gun that Donnie had was sticking out to my side of the window.
Okay. I didn't even listen to Bob.
He kind of leaned out a little bit toward his head, and his right arm sticking out of the window. I had heard it go off.
How many shots did you hear?
I roughly about 3.
And all 3 shots came from the gun that you saw down the road.
Correct.
Did he have your phone now? Did you show me a picture of him?
At that point, now I identified the shooter.
Just because it clicked him off.
We already had an idea of what our charges was. We know that he did not, he had any part, but also he didn't know what we knew already. It's all about the approach, so that way they'll know me. I'm not just a guy with blind baggage. Walking into that room knowing that everything is at stake is game time. So, hey, he's talking to me. Okay. It's fine. You alright there? So, what's your name? Donnie. Okay. Who are you from? Yeah. So the biggest thing when I walked into that room, I wanted to make him feel comfortable. So my goal was to build a relationship with him, build a rapport with him. In this case, I know for me, okay? I know I want to help you understand, okay, what happened. And like I told you before, maybe a lot of my mistakes. You know, you made plenty of mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes. Alright? But at the end of the day, okay, we own up to what we've done, and we move on. Alright, so on the way from the pool, where's right there? Okay, so what we have, so he kept using the term he was faded, meaning that he was under the influence. He was trying to make me believe that he was so drunk or he just don't remember anything. I think that wasn't truthful. I know you found it, but I know you found a particular he was in. You think you just showed up with your guys? And pick up all these things? You think you did that? Just because it's out of line. You say, hey, you don't know nothing. That's what I'm down to you today. You think you did that? No. That ain't real. Shut up. You're a young man. You got your whole life ahead of you. about it. But I need to know what happened. Did he make it in here? Or was it just an accident? Hey, you said you could ask for his attorney, so I want to make sure to keep him talking to me. That's why I was giving him told me this question, but this man deserves that. You know, this man you shot a kid. This man was in the word. Really? Did you really do it? No. Are you trying to scare him? Was it just because he thought he was trying to cut him off?
Do you think you're fancy? You win invite to Joshua. Hit that learn more button to find out how you can win.
Huh? We can't wait till my brother gets here to get here and we don't get him.
They gave you a favor. They pissed you off. And that's why you shot. So like, where was he taking me? Should I quit? No, it's about, yeah. This is all part of the investigation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did. To be honest with you, bro, that thing that somebody goes out and even told him. We set the foundation where he could talk and make it come. And that way he felt as if he could talk to him. Okay. She sent me a game around the whole lot of it. I made this mistake. I don't make that decision. I'm not going to do it. It's no.
He finally sank over in his chair, and you saw his shoulders drop and his head drop, and it seemed like the full acceptance was finally there. You realized this show was over. There wasn't any more denial. There wasn't more covering it up.
Levi was 23 when he died. He had left behind 2 young kids and was trying to make a life for himself after a troubled childhood. Levi married very young. He was a hard-working young man, worked hard to support his family. 23-year-old boy was killed for no reason. She said she had heard from Carl's second wife, Cindy Carlson, and that Cindy had told her that she had left her husband and that she was afraid he was going to come after her, and that she believed that her husband had killed his son Levi. It was really kind of hearsay at that point, but we decided to go ahead and ask. 17 days before the death of Levi, Carl takes Levi up to a bank and he takes out a life insurance policy on Levi. But with a rider, it makes the value of the life insurance policy over $700,000. When I first reviewed the report from 2008, there was no mention of an insurance policy. Of that money, Carl just spent money freely and didn't put away any savings for Levi's kids. We realized we need to take a look at this cost and see what this person's really like.
In 1991, Carl and Christina lived with their 3 children in a very small house at a very rural property in the woods. Carl said that the children were down for a nap and that Christina was taking a bath.
Carl was out in a woodshed and he hears a scream. He just said he managed to rescue his children, pull them out of their windows of their bedrooms, but he was driven back by the flames and he tried to rescue his wife.
Y'all quit hitting each other, both of y'all.
I put a call.
Play and be nice to each other, okay?
Was very
I'm trying to
passionate
hear
about the case back then. And he was broke on time and received my call. Oh my God, I always dreamed that someday this call would come. And here it is. Carl gave 3 different versions of what happened that day, how that fire started.
He was a volunteer firefighter at one point, so he has some knowledge of fire. He claimed that the dog knocked over a jug of kerosene.
You said what? No, he's not here. And I was asking if she could go with him. Huh? Yeah.
Later, he said that this light blew out. There's different stories as to what the cause was, but it was suspicious.
Anaya, leave him alone!
How powerful is Cox Internet? It's so powerful that you could not only look. Carl claims that he had boarded this window up because the window was broken. He used 17 nails. Christina had a $150,000 life insurance policy on her at the time of her death. Carl got the money and used it largely to finance his move back to New York and kind of start over again with the kids. The investigator said he was told, Carl went to New York, he's New York's problem now, and we're not putting the money into this case anymore, just let it go. But he then said that he photocopied every single record in a box in my basement.
want to take care of that. I'll leave. Do that anyway. That's right. Yeah.
The onset was simply to focus on the death of Levi Carlson.
I was very nervous because so much was relying on this interview, and there was a lot at stake here. If he is the person we think he is, then other people are at risk.
So, the day that my son died, her night, we had a funeral to go to. We left at 11:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. It was on the other side of Sunny Lake. Son was there. He helped me. We were working on the truck, changing transmission lines, brake lines, the whole 9 yards. Went in, gave him some money, left, went in the front garage. Okay? And so we got done, talked to him, said goodbye, and so then we left, come back, a little after 4, and went out there and found him.
What do you mean you found him?
I found him dead. His truck was on. They come in, tried doing CPR, and he was already gone. Went down to the hospital.
We weren't at all surprised when he took that story. You know, a lie stuck to become the truth, right? If he doesn't falter off that, it makes it difficult for us to put the case together.
We thought there's nothing else is working, we can try some deception. Now, when you use deception in an interview, it's allowable to a point, but where that point is in a gray area, so you're taking a risk when you do it.
There's a big problem.
Now, we already knew there was no time of death in this case.
Tom came up with this concept that through medical technology, we were able to tell exactly what time he died, and we knew what time Carl had left.
And I wish I could say he died in the past. But when you walk that in, if you're telling us the truth and say you had a conversation with him, you're lying.
I had a conversation with him, I'll tell you that.
But he was in your bed when you walked in there, where you walked in. That's bad. You're feeling pressure and you are not able to tell the truth right now. If you really truly felt like what you did was right, which I think you did,
I did not kill him. There's no way. But he was dead.
I was wrong.
I think he's not crying here. He's trying to put on a show for the camera and for all of us that he's emotional here. But the walls are closing on him. That's what his body language is telling us. John's connection with Carl is almost like a father-son relationship that's started early on into this interview. We know that we have our best opportunity to get to the truth by leaving John and everyone alone.
How do you get so many games? Easy. I use AI. I just ask AI, where can I watch the most live sport?
Bro, you gotta have the most live sports of any stream.
Why do you keep asking? Oh, I was just showing Kevin.
AI really can do everything.
Thanks, Allen Iverson.
Whoa. Water burp.
I'm on the cheese.
I let him out and I walked away. Mine had been after 4 years. You guys somehow, pull it out, and in a way it's better thing.
It should be.
He's never heard you. He did.
He did.
I could tell he's ready to tell me something really big. And gave all the encouragement I could.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do for me? I'm going to stand up and say this wasn't premeditated, cold-blooded murder. It's just something that happened. It happens sometimes, Carl.
That's what I'm
Okay.
He comes out with his final version that he caused the truck to fall on his son, and then basically walked out and left him dying on the floor.
Carl Carlson is a sociopath, pathetic human being, and he was a budding serial killer. I think he dragged a high for murder. I think he enjoyed it. This wasn't a job, this case. This was about Levi. This was about Christina. It was about all the people that got their lives destroyed by Carl Carlson. The scary part was he took out life insurance policies on his two granddaughters. It's insane to think that you could take out a policy like that and not inform the mother, but he did. And I have no doubt there was.
You're such a good listener, Thomas. It makes me feel so special.
You are special. If you don't mind, if you could just...
This makes me feel really special too, because Discover's giving me cash back on debit, not just credit.
people get on my plane. I'm trying to get the stuff. There was something else I was supposed to get.